Hey guys, good morning. I hope you have a good day. Today we're talking about resilience analysis, and you're going to see a decked out finished resilience analysis that I made. So, what is a resilience analysis? Okay, so you analyze your stakeholders, you analyze your internal environment and then external environment. Now you have your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. Now, guess which one of these four can hurt you more? Other weaknesses, yes, but they're internal. You can do something about them. The outside opportunities, you might lose them, big whoop. So what? That they're not in your hands, regardless of it doesn't make any difference. But threats, external threats, yeah, those things are kind of the most important thing that you need to be wary of and focus on. So, risk analysis is a thing. But risk analysis is not just about financials. When we talk about risk analysis, we think about, oh, financial risk, accounting stuff, and fintech stuff. Oh, it's about money and stuff like that. No, not exactly. We do risk analysis in project management, in product management. We have risk analysis, and there's risk analysis in software development. The risk is different, but in strategy, the risk analysis is about the external risks and threats, in contrast to your resources, not just your financial resources, but every other bit of resources that you have. So you can call this a risk analysis on steroids. Resilience is your capability of withstanding these external threats or risks with contrast to your internal strength, basically. So you gather you after you do your internal analysis and external analysis, and you find out the external threats that might be waiting for you. You go in deeper to analyze them more deeply and more intimately, and then you analyze your resilience against them. Can my strength help me withstand these threats? How can I deal with them? Usually, when we're talking about external risks that might come for us, we think about a couple of options. We can mitigate them and make it not our business. Hey, this part of the business, I'm going to give it to a contractor. The reward is given away, at least some of it, but also the risk is given away as well. So the risk isn't my problem anymore. And if it happens, it's contractor's fault. The contractor has to take care of it and do something about it. So that's how you mitigate risk. You can negate risk by positioning yourself in a way that the risk doesn't occur to you, or you can face it, basically. Saying, okay, I can do this, and that to try and resist the threat or the risk, or you can accept it. It can happen, it might happen, and fine. At that point, I'm fine. Like in engineering, when we're trying to like design a house, we don't design it to be indestructible. We want to keep the costs down. So what do? We accept a risk. What total risk do we accept? Um, Maybe you have heard of it, maybe not. When we design a house, we design it knowing with 80% certainty that it's going to withstand a earthquake, an earthquake of a certain magnitude. We have data on the earthquakes, aka the risk in this case, and we know all the um, really bad high casualty stuff might happen like once a century. But the houses that we build, they're not made to withstand centuries. They're made to to stand for like 20 years. So what kind of statistically speaking, we go lower on the steps of the how devastating an earthquake can be. I don't know how you scale that. We use Richter, and I say okay, every 20 years, which is within the cycle of this uh, construction that I'm building, an earthquake of this magnitude happens. So I have to design this house to withstand this um, earthquake once, and that's it, and that's fine. Once this magnitude of earthquake happens, the house is still standing, people are alive and well, and everything is good and dandy, and then done. But what happens if it happened twice? Well, that's another design thing. So this is how we face the risks when it comes to engineering. We expect the point of failure based on the environment we're in, based on the statistics of uh, things like natural disasters, like earthquakes, for example, and then we designed around that. We design it in such a way that within its life cycle, product's life cycle, in this case the house, the product shall withstand this magnitude that we expect to happen. Well, it might happen twice. It might happen with twice the magnitude, and we wouldn't be ready for it, prepared for it at all. But that's sort of the risk that we are willing to accept based on standard and best practice. So that's how you calculate your risk when it comes to engineering stuff, like engineering projects, like a house, a car, an infrastructure, or whatever. You design them based on the likelihood of risk X occurring within its life expectancy. The road is going to exist for 40 years. We designed it for 40 years, and for within the 40 years that it exists, there's a likelihood of this risk happening, and we designed it for this likelihood of this risk happening. We designed it against this, right? Like magnitude 7 earthquake might happen, and we designed it against that magnitude 7 earthquake that might happen. So how do you translate that to business? Kind of the same. You look at the statistics and the likelihood of the statistics to happen, and you design your strategies around that. Okay, there might be, I don't know, there might be a riot. I have a brick-and-mortar uh, store, and there might be riot, and people might break my glasses and come in and pick up my stuff, and pick up my goods and steal them and go away. So what do? You can install metal bars. You can install um, ballistic glass, basically. Yeah, you can, instead of all of them, install a camera, a better quality camera. Now, each of them have different costs and different maintenance related to them, and you have to choose your option. Or you can do nothing. It's like the likelihood is too low, and I don't feel like spending for this. Instead of this, let's insure our business. Let's go to the insurance company and say, hey, insure my um, store against things like, I don't know, riots or stuff. And this way you mitigated your risk to the insurance company. That's actually what insurance companies do. They buy risks from you. If you realize that they buy risks from you, and that's what they do. They, on a daily basis, they are working with statistics to calculate the risks and uh, put a price tag on your risk, and they buy your risk. So now that you know this, when you hear something like life insurance exists, I don't know, what does that make you feel? Living itself is a risk. Wow. Nice one. Anyway, so let's go and take a look at this. This one is a big one. Um, there's a lot of content inside it. Just take a look, because there's a lot of content inside this report that you're going to witness. You get a good idea about what you can add in and what you can take out. As always, I'll put the report on the template on my website. The data used for this one is public domain. So while I couldn't initially share this with you because it had some proprietary insights and stuff in it, after I got rid of them, now you can see it for yourself and see how it ends up looking like. Also, just a note, I haven't seen any other resilience analyses being conducted. I just read that there is such a thing, but I haven't seen any resilience analysis outside of this one. So basically, I made it myself. But I made it based on some research, existing research, and a lot of help from experts and university professors. So it's reliable. But again, this type of report, you change it based on your need anyway. So while you need to understand that this is the top level stuff meant to go towards go to between two holdings and board managers. Like there's this company that I'm doing a resilience analysis for, and they're owned by this holding, and the holding itself is owned by this holding, and this report has to be accepted by the company itself, accepted by the holding that owns the company itself, and reported and accepted by the holding holder, holding company. And that's why it's at that high level. So and basically it has a bunch of jargon that is unnecessary. If you're doing it for your own business, you just change it however you want. You get the spirit of it and turn it into what you can use for yourself to analyze your threats. Just be mindful of the elements that you see in here and the steps that is taken in this example that I'm going to show you, and try to follow it, and that's fine. And that's it. You get yourself a great resilience analysis report. Good luck. Okay. So first of all, I have to apologize. I cannot share both my screen and my webcam input for some reason. So I have to do them separately. I am frankly expecting this old laptop to do way more than it's capable of, and well, you have to do the best you can, and this is frankly it. But still, I'm sorry. Thank you for being here with me, regardless. So let's go back to our report, resilience analysis report. This one is made for the retail industry, and as I said, it's full of bloaty text and stuff. It's a good read, but it's too much. As I said, this one had to just like every other report has to go through the top management of the company and the holding that owns it, and the holding that owns the holding that owns the company. So it is bloated. This one specifically is filled with bloat. Anyway, the first thing that we do, we classify risks and impacts or shocks. The way we classify them here is classifying them natural and human-made shocks and disasters, and I group them like geophysical, meteorological, hydrological, climate, biological, and extraterrestrial. The main type of disasters, subtype of catastrophe, and then, as I said, human-made. This is the best that I could find that could categorize them, categorize the hazards and impacts. You use something different if you find a better one. And of course, this is from Wikipedia. Categorizations of unnatural disasters. and notes explanation, and now what we're doing. We are looking at this effect to our internal environment, the effect of each risk, impact, or disaster to our internal environment. We're trying to find out the effectiveness of them. So we try to find out which one should we look out for. There are some things that we cannot do anything about, and there are some things that we can at least prepare ourselves for. So based on which one of the disasters or shocks or risks can affect us, their potential consequences for us, and the environment that they affect. Then this one, as you can see, looks kind of like a pastel, economical, political, civil, social, individual, as you can see. And then we come down to something like this. These are the natural and human-made disasters that we can face in that industry and that business. This is the momentum space. This is the organizational environment that can be affected by these different disasters. Then we model it. How do we model things? So first of all, we know which disasters to look for now, because since we categorize them, we go to Google them. We get to Google and find out when, what happened, what was the type, what was the category, when it happened, and the description. A lot of things happen. Then we try to analyze each and every one of them through a method that looks kind of like VRIO. It's like this. Effect, the medium of the effect, the effectiveness index, direct, is it direct, can it affect directly or indirectly, affect grading, material damage, and real, not by real damage, financial damage or financial damage. Oh, there's an explanation and legend here. Effect grading is it wasn't noticeable, indirect and very low, medium, loss of resources, business disruption, risk of business failure. And then we try to figure out the frequency of these disasters happening on a historical basis. As I told you, we're trying to find out how within the life of the business of, in this case, the store, how many times can we expect things to go bad in regard to each and every one of those disasters or catastrophes or risks. That's like this, which call them risk. And then we come down with this, something like looking like this. Years, months, time difference, the effect coefficient, direct and indirect, the impact rate, the impact, year, year over year impact, time difference again, and impact. You have to kind of get into the details and read this. You can, or we don't have time for that right now. So then we analyze impact per time difference. impact on time. And you go to analyze the different types of risks and the frequencies, time it happened, month it happened, zones it affected, day, how many days until the next similar thing that happening. You want to try to understand its frequency and how how long we have, basically based on statistically speaking, how long we have until the next similar type thing to happen again. Okay, after I guess you see that chopping block of a report. Well, after visiting it again, I saw that there were a bunch of names in there. And although it's public domain and I can share it with you, I cannot publicly show it because it has some names, people named, I guess. I don't want trouble. So I tried to get rid of all the parts that had a bit of names showing or mentioning in the footage. That's why it's all chopped up and everything, and you see Kermit showing the no square. Anyway, so you get the gist. You first of all you categorize the types of risks that await you. These could be as big as natural disasters and human-made disasters that we analyze here, all to a very small problem or risk of you won't talk to me and stuff like that, So you first categorize the risks, then you analyze them. These are the categories, and these are my internal space and the momentum space of which aspect of my business will be affected by these different risks. So you have the risk and its category and how and where it can hurt you, and then you analyze its frequency and its likelihood of happening. Statistical things at this point. And then you research about ways to withstand and resist against these risks. Can you even resist against them? Can you even withstand against them? Or what choices are you going to take when it comes to these types of risks? Now that you categorized them, understood them, analyzed them, found them out, and understood where and how they can hurt you, and the likelihood of them happening and the frequency of them happening historically. Then say, okay, I've I navigate my way around it, or navigate my way through it, or whatever may come. So you know the gist of it. I don't think I will share this file online just because it shares some names. Maybe I'll change it later, and after I make some sufficient changes, I can upload it for you. I think like it's fine, but I don't feel like, you know, I want to do the hard thing in the beginning. It's fine. It's good for you to see an example and to try to, you know, get a feel of how it's supposed to be done instead of me just giving you an empty template. Okay, fill this up. How am I going to fill this up? Why am I going to fill this specific cell? Explain it to me. And how is it going to end? Should it end up looking like? You know. But now you saw a bit of it, at least. You saw how it is structured, and you know the process of the resilience analysis. And as I said, then you need to, but at the end of it all, you need to decide what are you going to do with this risk. First of all, you need to understand that the worst case scenario usually doesn't happen. We are very lucky creatures. Honestly, we're extremely lucky, and we're rarely that unlucky for things to go that bad, that fast, in that manner. But it still sometimes happens, and you need to understand like how you're going to navigate this. Are you going to, mitigate it, or make it someone else's problem? Go buy insurance for it. Go um, around it. Don't ever even go that direction. Don't even think about it. Whenever you see the signs, oh, I'm going to close my business. Oh, we're closed by. Oh, what are you going to do when the early stages of this indicator of risk comes up? Also, by analyzing this, you get a feeling of, okay, uh, how is happening? What makes this uh, thing trickle down into this huge problem for me? It's good to do this so you understand, oh, how I can stop things when they're small, how I can navigate around them, how I can, protect myself against different risks. And after you're done with this part, the rest, the rest of the strategy, at least when it comes to strategy, the rest of it is just Google a template, and you have everything you need to set it up, and you know what to search and what questions to ask and what you're looking for, because you've seen the um, picture that I showed you of the different stages of strategy and different reports and chapters that we need to do. So you have everything you need after you've done all of these analyses that are showing the stakeholder analysis. If you've done if you have your vision and mission statement done correctly, if you done your stakeholder analysis, if you've done your external market analysis, internal environment analysis, then you have your SWOT, and now with this risk analysis, you're fine. You completely got it. And to understand like how are you going to utilize the opportunities that come to you, you go back to your internal analysis. Okay, these are the list of threats and opportunities. These are the list of my strengths and weaknesses, and you go to see all the other strengths and weaknesses that you have that were maybe not one of your main strengths or main weaknesses that you had to focus on, and you look at the external opportunities and threats, especially when it comes to this sort of risk and risk analysis. Now that you know how the external risk can negatively affect you, you have to see, is there a key weakness? Is there a weakness that wasn't a key weakness but becomes one in relation to this risk? Is there a strength that I have that is not a key strength but an unrelated strength that I plan to put aside, but I need to keep working on it so I can withstand this risk? Or there's something that is not one of my main strengths or main plans, but I can utilize them to grab onto my opportunities. So basically, again, you have everything, every bit of data that you need. In the process of getting all these reports ready, you have every bit of data that you need. The rest is deduction and analysis. You need your. I cannot show them the way that I showed you these past videos because they're internal. You need your internal data set. It heavily depends on your company, your industry, and everything about your business. But don't worry about it because if you've done all of them, you got it in the back. Yeah. The rest of it is just skill based. By skill based, I mean like you Google them and you just walk on them and it's done. Seriously, after this, it's done. Like none of them are going to take as much time and effort from you as these ones will. And for each and every single one of them, you inevitably come back to these ones, and you indirectly do a lot of first building blocks of each and every one of them. Like when you get there, you understand, oh, I've already done this. Now I just have to shrink it or um, give it a direction, and I'm done. And then that's no strikers. Congratulations. So what's going to happen next? The next videos is going to be, I don't know. I want to try to start the live videos, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I need to prepare some stuff so I can actually work on them. I mean, I told you before that my main gripe about these how-to videos were about how everything seems to perfectly work, but in real life it's not like that. And that's why I wanted to make live videos about it. But I still need to have some level of preparation, sorry, done so I have the necessary resources. Like if I'm trying to do something in data analysis, I need to find a source for data. Without data, I cannot do anything. But yeah, so the next video will be most likely it will be me ranting, or I'll try to make some small short videos, like YouTube shorts and stuff. Yeah. Let me know how you feel. As always, please like, subscribe. Thank you very much. Please take a look at my playlist and the video. And again, be right. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.